I'm Katharina and welcome to the You Got This podcast. The podcast where we dive into career and leadership inspiration for women who are ready to take charge and lead with ease, confidence, and fun. In each episode, we explore strategies and stories designed to help you break through barriers, embrace your authentic self, and create the career you deserve. Whether it's through solo episodes packed with actionable insights or conversations with inspiring experts, this podcast is all about helping you to step up, to be seen, and to lead with impact. So, if you're ready to learn more about how to rise and unlock your full potential, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to today's episode of my podcast, Understanding Values, the foundation of leadership and career success. I'm Katharina, a leadership coach dedicated to empowering international women to lead authentically and create careers they deserve. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. In this episode, we are diving into a topic that lies at the heart of every meaningful success stories: values. And let's be honest, completely undervalued. Values aren't just an abstract concept we reflect on occasionally. That's how I started. But actually, they are the invisible forces that guide us our daily decisions, shape our interactions, and design who we are as leaders, colleagues, and individuals. Think of values as the compass that points you towards what truly matters. Think about values as the force which is, dictating the flight, fight, and freeze modus. When you understand your own values, you unlock a deeper sense of clarity and purpose. And when you recognize and respect the values of others, you build trust, foster stronger relationship, and lead with greater empathy and impact. But here's the challenge. So many of us move through our careers and lives without fully understanding what drives us or those around us. This lack of awareness can lead to frustration, misalignment, and even conflict. By exploring the power of values, you can bridge that gap, align your actions with your deepest priorities, and inspire others to do the same. Whether you are striving to lead with more authenticity, build a stronger professional presence, or simply gain clarity about what truly motivates you and how you can influence others better. Today's episode is packed with insight that guide your journey. And I give you a very tangible example. Imagine your value is teamwork. And guess what? You're working in a company or have a boss for whom teamwork is not of the values, because for him the individualistic contribution is the most important thing. Complete clash in values. You are expecting something your leader cannot and will not be able to give you at all. So, if you're realizing this one, you can manage your frustration. You can still hold up your value, but you will understand and can navigate and influence your leader differently. You can position yourself differently, because guess what? When he sees you always wanting for teamwork, and alignment, he thinks you're not capable of doing things. So this is just one very tangible example, but it just underlines the importance of values. Or let me give you another example. If your value is fairness, and every time something unfair or in your eyes unfair happens, you blurt out that this is not fair. You're positioning yourself not as a leader, but as someone who is, not under control of his emotions. So if you understand that fairness is one of your values and you're confronted with things that might not be fair in the first place, maybe there's on a higher level a fairness for it, then it is better to control your emotions. So this is why values are so important, and it's so important to understand your values. But now, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's uncover how values can transform your leadership and your career. Let's get started. Now, let's first look into why values matter in career and leadership. And I will give you 5 reasons, and I hope it's not too long as a kind of enumeration, but I think it's very important to understand the topics. Values create clarity. Values act as a compass, providing direction in certain or complex situations. When we know what matters most to us, we can make decisions more quickly and confidently, even under pressure. I'll give you an example. Imagine a leader facing a challenging decision about budget cuts. But relying on their values of fairness and transparency, they can ensure the process is equitable and that all stakeholders feel heard. This clarity reduces decision fatigue and builds trust, making it easier to move forward with confidence. And now, kind of short reflection: which of my values guide my decisions the most? How can they help me navigate challenging situations? Just think about it. When you have someone with a different value in these times of budget cut, and the value is, I'm the leader, I need to propose and have the answers, this leader will, within their values, make the right decision. They will make the call what matters most and make the decisions, what they think is right, and only then inform the teams, not participate. And this is why it's so important to understand the values, because if you have a team where the values is transparency, and you're a leader where the value is I'm responsible, I'm in charge, this doesn't match. That's a clash, and you will have a disappointed team because they're not feeling heard and aligned, and you have a disappointed leader because he thinks I'm doing it all, and they are so ungrateful. Second reason: values foster authenticity. Authenticity builds trust. If I'm aligned with what I'm saying and my actions align with what I'm saying, trust is there, and trust is the foundation for effective leadership. When you lead in alignment with your values, others perceive you as genuine and reliable. For example, if a manager who values creativity encourages innovative thinking within their team, because by staying true to the value, they create an environment where originality is celebrated, which inspires loyalty and respect. And the impact is that authentic leaders are easier to connect with and influence others more effectively because they are seen as consistent and trustworthy. Just a tip: regularly reflect. Am I leading in a way that aligns with my values? Or am I compromising them for external pressures? Think about the value of the company or the value of your leadership team. The third reason why values are important: values build resilience. During challenging times, values serve as a source of strength and consistency. They remind us why we do what we do, and they help us stay grounded. A leader navigating a corporate restructuring might feel overwhelmed. But when you're focusing on your value of integrity, they commit to open and honest communication, maintaining trust even in difficult times. This means values provide a steady foundation, helping you as a leader to navigate uncertainty with clarity and confidence. And now I invite you to write down your top 3 values and how they can guide you and your response during tough situations. And fourth, values strengthen relationships. Understanding your own values and those of others enhances communication and reduces conflict, creating stronger connections. I'll give you an example. Consider a team member who values autonomy, working with a manager who prioritizes collaboration. Recognizing and respecting this difference leads to an open dialogue and solutions that align both with perspective. But if you don't talk about it, you cannot solve it. Then it's under the carpet. And I'm convinced that stronger relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, because this fosters a more collaborative and productive work environment. Why don't you ask your team members occasionally what's most important to you in this project? And here you will find out their values and build an alignment, because you can react to this one. Values are, lastly, as well supporting long-term goal setting, because goals that align with your values are more fulfilling and sustainable. Misaligned goals, even if achieved, can leave you feeling empty or dissatisfied. I'll give you an example. A professional who values family sets a goal to achieve a promotion, but ensures it doesn't compromise their work-life balance. This alignment keeps them motivated and fulfilled. Otherwise, they would sacrifice too much, and it would really bleed into their personal life, into their engagement. So think about it. Aligning goals with values leads to meaningful and enduring success. I give you a tip. For every major goal, ask yourself, does this align with my values? How does this contribute to what matters most to me? In the beginning, this might feel a little bit artificial, but the more you're closer connected with your values, the easier the answer to these questions are getting because you're living it, you're feeling it. It's part of how you're showing up every day. And this awareness helps you as well to understand why maybe sometimes your reaction is a little bit over the top, or why you're feeling inflated, depressed sometimes when you're having an interaction with someone. Often it depends on your values. But how can you actually identify your own values? I gave you a tip already. Reflect on meaningful moments because reflection is a powerful tool for uncovering your core values. By analyzing moments of joy and frustration, you can identify what truly resonates with you. Think of a time when you felt deeply fulfilled or proud. What happened? Who was involved? What made the experience meaningful? I'll give you an example. Perhaps you received a recognition for mentoring a colleague. This might indicate values like generosity, growth, leadership, connectivity. And in the same, analyze conflicting situations. Reflect on moments when you felt frustrated, upset, or disconnected. What caused these emotions? What did you wish had been different? For example, if you felt hurt when someone interrupted you in a meeting, this might highlight values like respect, fairness, or communication. In each of these situations, ask yourself, why did I feel this way? What about this moment triggered a strong reaction? This question digs deeper into the underlying values at play. And maybe you discover limiting beliefs as well, but in this episode, we focus on the values. And as a super practical tip, write a list of 5 to 10 values that emerge from these reflections. Circle the ones that feel the most significant. Another way to look into your values could be to use frameworks like the VIA character strengths. If reflection feels overwhelming or you need more structure because sometimes it feels a little bit lonely when you're challenging yourself, and having a framework where you answer questions might be faster and gets you, with more safety at your goal. So tools like the VIA character strengths, and I will put the link in the show notes, offer a science-backed approach to uncover your core traits and values. VIA is a framework that categorizes strengths into traits such as curiosity, perseverance, kindness, or integrity. And each strength reflects a value that drives your behaviors and decisions. How can you use this? Take the free online survey online. This result will provide you with a ranked list of your strengths. If you pay a little bit of money, you get more in-depth analysis, but the free one is completely okay for this first exercise. And it gives you a list of your strengths with insights how these traits influence your life. And then you can connecting the results to the values. Examine the top traits from your survey and reflect on their relevance to your life. Example: if kindness ranks high, your value might center on supporting others and creating positive connections. And using a structured tool like VIA allows you to articulate and validate your values, giving you a clear foundation for decision making. And the last step is narrow down your values. Once you have identified potential values like 10 or 5 through reflection and or tools, it's time to refine and prioritize, because honestly, it doesn't help if it's too many, because the strongest ones are the ones which will influence your behavior, your mood, your actions the most. So create a list of all values that resonate with you. This could include honesty, family, ambition, creativity, or resilience. And there is a lot of lists available online if you need to spark ideas. Just type in the Google bar values and you get tons of lists. It's overwhelming. So take one with 20, completely enough. And then ask yourself when you're looking at your list, which values feel most central to who I am? Or another question could be, which values influence my decision the most? Are these values consistent across different areas of my life? Because it could as well be that your values in your private and your professional environment are completely different. I discussed this with my husband the other day when he is a chemist and has a PhD degree. And he said, whilst he was studying, thoroughness and really going to the details and really being very, very detailed, there was the value which was the most important one to him. And then now, after 20 or 30 years in the industry, making fast decision based on experience and knowledge is the most important thing. So speed, 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 decision, decision, decision. And that's completely different. And he said he adjusted his value while working because this is the value or the behavior that is wanted, that is rewarded in the environment. And then when you have looked into this one, you can test it and probe it, consider how it shows up in your daily life. Do you take actions that aligns with these values? Is it part of your decision-making process? If you think family is so important, are you really doing everything to prioritize your family, or the other way around? Is career the most important thing, or is because of your high value for family, you're not feeling so happy at work, and being happy at work is maybe more important than being in this quadrant of successful, because success is always your personal definition. So, and I'll give you another example. If adventure is a top value, you might prioritize travel, learning new skills, or taking bold professional risks. And this helps you then to understand your values in a context in your private and professional life, because values don't just exist in isolation. It's not a theoretical concept. They interact with your environment, your relationship, and your goals. Recognizing this interplay helps you to align your actions with your values. And you can look at your habits and routines. Are they consistent with your values? If health, for example, is a top value, does your daily schedule include time for exercise, mindfulness, and healthy eating? You can now reflect on situations where your values feel compromised. If you value family, let me take this example because it's one of my favorite, but you're consistently working overtime, there's a conflict to resolve. Either you need to, come up and step up to say no more often. You need to reconsider your work. You need to do some job crafting. If the conflict is too high, you will not be happy. You will not feel fulfilled. And then seek alignment. Commit to actions that better align with your values and your life. And small, consistent adjustment can have a significant impact. And as a practical tip, revisit your values regularly, because, as I just said with my husband, when your life is evolving, some values may shift in priority or expression. Family value, of course, gets higher when you have kids, or this is at least my experience. Values are most impactful when they guide your actions and choices. And here's how to make them actionable. Before making a decision, not an everyday light decision, but a bigger one, ask yourself, does this align with my top values? I give you an example. If family is one of your top values and you consider moving abroad for a cool job in Hong Kong, this doesn't work together. You need to be clear on what you're wanting and what is more important. And then you need to make, I don't think it's compromises is the right word. You need to make decisions in alignment with your values. And then you will be okay with the decision, because it's not a foul compromise. It is a decision based on your well-being and showing that you're happy. And if integrity is a value, you might choose transparency in a work conflict over self-preservation. And now I can only recommend that when you are setting goals, you ensure that they reflect your values, because this increases motivation and fulfillment. For example, if you're a leader who values innovation, You might set a goal to spearhead a creative project. If you like order, the targets you're setting to yourself and the team is getting things organized, having a clear framework. And if you align your actions with your value, you're, as I said, more authentic and more predictable for your environment. And in order to be more transparent and predictable, share your values with your colleagues, friend or family to build stronger relationship and mutual understanding. If you tell your team that you value collaboration, it encourages them to contribute ideas openly, because this is the environment you're creating as a leader. So for me, a final reflection: identifying your values is a process of self-discovery that lays the foundation for authentic and intentional living. So it's not only about your career and your leadership, it's about how you live your life. Through reflection and structured tools like the VIA and prioritization, you can gain clarity about what drives you, and you can make choices that align with who you truly are. This clarity will enhance your career, relationship, and leadership styles, because you're creating a life that feels both meaningful and aligned. For me, understanding your values is more than an exercise in self-awareness. It's a foundation for authentic leadership, fulfilling relationships, and meaningful success. Your values are your compass, guiding your decisions and helping you to navigate challenges with confidence and integrity. Today's episode explored the importance of knowing your own values and understanding those of others. By reflecting on your values, integrating them into your decisions, and aligning your goals with what truly matters, you can create a life and a career that feels genuinely fulfilling. Leadership isn't about conforming to others' expectations. It's about staying true to yourself while inspiring those around you to do the same. And that's a very important sentence. You do not need to give up on your values when you're becoming a leader. As you go about your day, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect. What are the values that define you? How are they showing up in your daily actions, relationship, and decisions? And most importantly, can you live those values more fully? If today's episode resonated with you and you're ready to take the next step, I really invite you to join my January masterclass, Vision 2025, Developing Career Clarity. This live interactive session will guide you through refining your vision, setting value-aligned goals, and creating actionable steps for 2025. Together, we build the clarity and momentum you need to lead authentically and achieve success on your terms. And as a special bonus for attending my masterclass, you receive a very, very nice bonus, a practical tool to help you continue exploring your values and applying them to your career and life. The registration is open now. I put the link in the show notes, and spots are limited, so it can be more personal. Be sure to check the show notes for all the details and secure your place today. Thank you for taking the time to join me in this episode. I hope it has inspired you to reflect on your values and how they shape your journey. Leading with clarity starts from within. Your career starts from within, and I'm here to support you on every step of the way. Until next time, stay inspired, stay aligned, and remember, leadership begins with understanding yourself. A fulfilling career begins with understanding yourself. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me today. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an update. For more inspiration and leadership tips, follow me on LinkedIn. You'll find the link in the show notes. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay on track with every new episode. Let's continue this journey of growth together. You've got this. I'm Katharina, the host of the You Got This podcast.